In this video, I'll talk about self-righteousness. So I'm thinking of applying to a PhD program which invites candidates to work on self-righteousness, and that's when I started thinking about this topic, which in a sense very relevant, and but still I hadn't thought about it like very organized way earlier. I had this cons had this like concern or something felt in my own life, but it's interesting to think about it philosophically. So I'm these days thinking about this and trying to construct my thoughts, and also to large extent what could be some helpful ways to approach this topic, especially philosophically, what is interesting in it. Few months ago, I think there was tweet by a philosopher that this virtue signaling, if someone is, let's say, trying to be so right about something that and they had taken example of Michelle Obama, the um, who, for example, during her like um, candidacy and her time, she was helping children to get like fit and more thin, and so someone was taking this example that she is a virtue signaler, telling others that um, some people are fat and I could help that, and also when something goes wrong on Twitter and everyone starts taking um, side of one group or another group starts criticizing someone and end up making a sort of group. And this is like this is this is a phenomenon I'm forgetting, that when this happens on Twitter, so these sort of behavior comes under the category of virtue signaler or virtue signaling. When someone says, "Oh, you are too, um, you are a liar. I'm very like moral person," you, something like that. And initially, I was very confused that yeah, that's the right thing. Everyone should do that. If something or someone is doing something wrong, eating like crap, pizza, burger, and whatever, and if let's say someone is involved in some misconduct, um, then a group of society should criticize that person if it ends up being uh, some sort of uh, like bullying sort of behavior. Still, I thought that's what should happen. Otherwise, like how would society know what's good and bad? But gradually, I started thinking that maybe um, being self-righteous, thinking ourselves as very morally superior being, or always thinking in the term that I'm right and the other person is wrong, then it could be something not so great, or maybe certainly philosophers have become very interested in this concept, self righteousness. That, but this is a real phenomenon. Everyone, to large extent, have need for um, thinking that they are right and others are wrong. That everyone has some moral system, let's say, or some values. At least some there are some things which people value, and using those certain criteria, they judge others' behavior as good and bad. So, in a way, this is a real phenomenon. There are some questions which I was particularly interested in. First question is that, I mean, is it not that everyone has this, everyone thinks that they are right? So, on some level, it becomes philosophically weird that, um, or yeah, that if everyone starts thinking that they are right, then this concept in itself, that self righteousness, uh, doesn't remain something which has to do with self necessarily. Second thing I was thinking about this topic is that this is, we have developed evolutionary to become self righteousness. It helps somehow psychologically individuals to, it's a natural uh, it's a natural tendency or something. uh, in the book How to, like, this by this famous author, How to Make Friends, he mentions that in the beginning of his book that even a criminal thought that he is kind and he is good and he is right. So someone, let's say, like, um, who we think that that person is completely crap, some gangster or a murderer, terrorist, they would also think that they are right. So, this is not something we should realize as philosopher, that this is this is like everyone's concept and everyone's problem if we are interested in this issue. But the second point was more about the advantage that everyone is like self righteous or thinks that they are right because it has evolutionary advantage. Uh, like Darwin says that the fittest survive. So if we don't think that we are right and we think all the time that we are wrong, oh my god, we are completely wrong, other people are right, then we just gonna take other people's values. And so it seems that it's good, it's not morally objectionable or problematic to think that I'm right, or if people think that they are right. So the third point should be about the question that, could it be morally problematic at all? Why are we interested in this philosophically? Why are we interested in this concept at all? Um, do we want to just examine what it is when one becomes, what are the conditions in which one becomes self righteous, or uh, we want to make a case that it is something which is morally objectionable or problematic? So, if Then the fourth point would be related to this, that if someone thinks that self righteousness is morally problematic, then what would be ground for that? Why? Um, what would make it problematic? Because we judge, someone judges other people or demean their self worth or dignity somehow. It maybe makes them feel superior and other people person inferior, and because of this like judgmental mode, it becomes morally problematic. And yeah, so these were some questions which I would like to examine if I would be interested in uh, dealing it dealing the topic philosophically.